This chapter's called The Underwear Dare. Uh-oh. Pajama Day was the big topic at lunchtime in the cafeteria. It was part of Spirit Week for Southeast School. Everybody was talking about it. Let's see. Most of us had hot lunch that day. It was spaghetti and buttery garlic bread. Yum. The carrot sticks were good too. As we slurped the noodles and crunched the bread and carrots, we talked about the big event. What are you wearing, Song Li? Ida asked. I haven't decided what to wear yet. My pajamas or nightgown? Song Li shrugged. I bet she brings her origami book, Sid said. Origami, Mary corrected. When Song Li didn't light up, Sid's smile disappeared. He could see she was still upset. We're having hot cocoa with mini marshmallows on Pajama Day, Zuzu said. My mom is one of the room mothers. I know. We get to read books anywhere in the room for a whole hour, I said. I'm reading the entire book of Stone Fox. I'm bringing my own copy of Revenge of Wedgie Woman, Harry said, making his eyebrows go up and down. After Mary cringed, she told us what she was wearing. I have pink cat pajamas and pink fluffy slippers to match, and I'm bringing a book about Pinky and Rex. What about you, Doug? Mary asked. I'm wearing a bathrobe, I said. Cool, Zuzu replied. What are you wearing, Harry? Well, Zoo, I don't wear pajamas to bed. I just go to sleep in my underwear. Mary and Ida giggled. Hey, Harry the Canary, Sid said. I've got a dare for you. Wear your underwear to school tomorrow for Pajama Day. It's what you wear to bed. Harry suddenly leaned way back in his lunch chair. He raised his bushy eyebrows and then pointed his carrot stick at Sydney. Okay, maybe I will. We all stared at Harry. You will? Sid said. Maybe, on one condition. What's that? Sid asked. If I wear my underwear to school tomorrow, Harry replied, you have to leap around all day like a praying mantis. Huh? Sid said. Harry gave a demonstration. He walked on his tiptoes with his head held high. He moved his head from side to side. His hands were close to his chest and his fingers wiggled back and forth. Song Li looked up. Thinking about a praying mantis made her eyes get watery. But Sid didn't even notice. It's a deal, he said, looking at Harry. You'll never wear your underwear to school. Harry shook Sid's hand. We'll see about that. Mary and Ida gasped, then covered their mouths. Song Li looked away. I could only shudder. Harry's second revenge was risky. The next morning was Wednesday. The bell was about to ring. Miss Mackle was at the bulletin board. Her hair was up in curlers and she was wearing a granny nightgown. Sydney was anxiously waiting by the door in his bright red pajamas with white snowmen. They were one size too big. Where's Harry? Sid asked. Grandma Spooker always brings him to school on Wednesdays, I said. That's when he has breakfast with his grandpa at Shady Glen. Sid looked worried. Do you think Harry's going to show up in his underwear? Ida shook her head. I hope not. Cross your fingers that he doesn't. Everyone crossed their fingers. Except for Song Li. She was reading a book called A Single Shard at her desk. She was wearing a pale blue nightgown with black and white pandas on it. The rest of us waited at the door. Finally, Harry strolled in. When Harry was wearing underwear... Finally, Harry strolled in. So this is the second chapter of our day. Pajama Day. Harry was wearing underwear, all right. Long johns. So you know what long johns are? They're like the long sleeve, long pants. They're like leggings kind of, but you wear them underneath your clothes. So technically they are underwear because you wear them underneath, right? Plain white, 100% cotton long johns. I let out a big sigh of relief. So did Mary and Ida. Harry's teeth were as white as his winter underwear. Okay, Sid, start leaping like a praying mantis. Sydney slapped the wall. You Tricked me. So what were you expecting me to wear, Sid? Pull up diapers? Harry joked. Sidney reluctantly got up on his tiptoes and pulled his hands close to his chest. When he wiggled his fingers, some of us giggled. He leaped very quickly over to his desk, holding his head up high like a praying mantis. Ida and Mary giggled. Sidney only got out of his seat 4 times that day. Once to go to the bathroom, once to line up for lunch, once for dismissal, and once to go to the refreshment table for hot cocoa and cookies. Zuzu's mom was handing out the treats. She noticed Sidney's funny steps. Are you pretending to be an animal? Mrs. Haddad asked. Sidney half smiled. Actually, I'm pretending to be an insect, he mumbled. Zuzu's mother looked at the teacher. I think Sidney has a good case of cabin fever, Mrs. Mackle chuckled. That's why the school has Spirit Week in the middle of winter. Mrs. Haddad smiled. Well, Sidney, since you are an insect, you will like these Lebanese cookies. They have honey in them. Sidney dropped a handful of marshmallows in his cocoa. I will, thank you, he replied. Then he carefully leaped back to his desk. Harry leaned back in his chair and flashed his white teeth. His second revenge was done. Now, I wondered how far Harry would go for the third one. All right.